All right, this is the mock-up for the tattoo design, and this is how all mock-ups will work. When you are ready to do your mock-up, you're going to click on the PSD file here. You may have to go into these three dots in the upper right-hand corner and go to Open a New Tab. And then it should give you the option to download. You'll go ahead and click on that to download the PSD. Now, we are using Photoshop for this assignment because the mockup file works best in Photoshop. You're not going to be able to do it in Illustrator. So here is my PSD here ready to go. I'm going to hide this just for a second, and I want to make sure you know where to go. So in your layers over here, you don't need to mess around with any of this, but we are going to double click on this little thumbnail down here, okay, where it says Tattoo Edit Me. Double click, and it's going to open up what's called a PSB file. This is where you're going to put your tattoo design. So first I'm going to just click on the eye icon next to where it says Your Design, and I can go to File, Place Embedded, and find my tattoo design. And from here, I can resize, I can rotate, I can do what I want. And here will also start showing you any issues that you might have. So things like the wrong colors, if you don't have transparency, or maybe you have areas of your design that you don't want to be transparent. And I'm going to show you what I mean here. Now, this is where it always throws everybody. So I have my design in here, and then they go back to this PSD and they're like, nothing's there. And the reason why nothing is there is because we have to click File, Save. So I'm going to go up here, go to File, Save. In the PSB file, it's saving. And then we'll go back over here to this PSD, and now I can see that mock-up. You can also do a little bit of editing of placement and everything in here, but I'm just going to mainly do the editing in here. So I might do a little rotation, or if maybe I want it a little smaller, I can do File, Save again. We'll place it. And then it's going to show up over here a little bit smaller. Now, let's say you're looking at this mock-up and you're like, something's off. Maybe you need to make some adjustments, erase something, or add some color. You can do that in Photoshop or Illustrator. Let's say, for example, maybe I want the wings to be a solid white behind or something like that. I could open up my tattoo design separately. So I'm going to do this separate. And then I'm going to add my layer. And this is why it's so important that you want to make sure that you save this as a PNG because you want transparency. You don't want there to be some random background back there. Let's just say I want my wings to be filled with white, and I'm just drawing underneath here. This is going to be very crude, but I want to show you as an example. There we go. I might even just add a background color here. Whoops. Hang on. Let's grab this one above. Here we go. Okay. And then I'm going to do another wing over here. Just as an example, if you wanted to add some color and not just have it black, or in this case, the skin tone. Sometimes it just adds a little dimension to have some extra color in there. Okay, I'll turn off that background. Now I can do File, Export, Quick Export as PNG, or if you're in Illustrator, you'll do File, Export as, and then choose PNG. Okay, so back over here, I'll get rid of this one. I'll do File, Place Embedded. And then once again, we can go to File, Save. And let's see what it looks like with the white. There it is. So you can kind of get a sense of what you're working with. Now, when you're ready to complete this, you're not going to turn in the PSD file. You're actually going to export this on its own. You're just going to export it as an image file because I'll be able to see the arm. I know you've used the mock-up. So we'll go to File, Export, Export As, and we're going to choose JPG because it's a lower image quality. I don't need to worry about high quality stuff or anything. We'll click Export. You can just call this mock-up, and then you would upload it to the tattoo mock-up assignment. Please be sure that your design looks the way you want it to look on the mock-up. If it doesn't look good, or it looks like something's missing, or like you have random squiggle lines off to the side or something, you need to fix that. Upload your design again and then put it into the mock-up to double check that everything looks good. The whole purpose of a mock-up is to make sure that everything looks good and that it's ready to go to be delivered to your client.